You shot straight, but you shot late. Holla at me. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Say man, hey man, it's OG Jucario, and I'm back at you with another one. And guess what? I had to come spin the YouTube block on this P. Diddy surveillance video footage that was put out by CNN News Network. And it was said in the article that Puffy paid $50,000 to suppress, to hide, to keep this video from surfacing of him putting hands and feet in the beats on Cassie Ventura back in 2016. This is over 8 years ago, you guys. And Puffy tried to keep it low key as possible. And, you know, obviously that didn't work because evidently when Homeland Security and the feds went off into these mansions of his and did these raids, they obviously found this video in his collection. So it makes me wonder, do they have more videos of Puff Daddy doing any more heinous acts and deplorable, horrible things to young women? Because we don't see any videos of him putting any hands and feet and beats on men, right? Where are those videos at, Puffy? Hey, Diddy, do you have videos of you getting an altercation with men and having the upper hand as you had in the video with Cassie? We're waiting to see that. But as of now, you know, Puffy, you were wrong for putting your hands on this young lady like that. And a lot of people sided with you, Diddy. And, you know, even Slim Thug had to come out and apologize for saying that, hey, you know, I didn't believe it. You know, it was a civil suit. You know, these were allegations. He didn't go to jail. So, you know, I'm just, you know, trying to stay on the safe side and say, hey, man, I'm riding with the black man, you know, until this can be proven. Well, Slim, now you've seen the video, along with everybody else in America and for the world in that matter. And those who are paying attention are saying, look, man, this is sick. You know, Diddy is wrong, and, you know, now will definitely destroy his character, and this will definitely destroy his business that he has going on with the alcohol, the clothing, and the music, even for that matter, right? And all this comes on the heels of his son, Christian Combs, releasing a song, you know, dissing 50 Cent and everybody else who were, you know, saying things about his father, Diddy. And he also alluded to the fact that, you know, they got away some type of way by going next door. I didn't get it because we seen him and his brother Justin in handcuffs. So I don't understand what he meant by that bar in that song, because obviously nobody got away to our knowledge. But, you know, a lot of people were saying, look, you know, he's basically telling the feds what happened before they did the raid. Now, how did he know they were doing the raid? That's another thing. You know, who is the ones that Christian Combs is speaking of that got away doing the raids and went next door somehow? Who is that? So, after all this right here, now we have the video surveillance footage of 2016 coming out publicly. And it was, you know, outed by CNN News Network, as I said. And a lot of people are wondering why, you know, CNN would put this out now. Why now? Cassie has been paid off. She was paid off the very next day. So why is this footage now coming out 8 years later? Well, I guess to, you know, give more insight on Puff Daddy's character, and also, you know, paint a picture of who he actually is. You know, because a lot of people wouldn't believe it, like I said, unless they actually see it. And check this out. Now, I have proof that CNN News Network wasn't doing too good in the stock market, right? The value of their stocks had dropped a little bit, a couple percentages, and their streaming, you know, now on the internet, the advertising sales have went down as well, right? So they're not doing too good. So I had a theory that maybe CNN News Network released this footage because, you know, hey, the advertising on it, on this video, could be real good and real, you know, substantial, right, to their pockets, to their bank account. And it's good for business, right? Now, a lot of people are thinking, why was this video released now, 8 years later? And why was Puffy never arrested? Why was he never charged with any criminal doing back then, 8 years ago? Well, he obviously, you know, like I said in the beginning, he bought the video from the hotel for $50,000 to suppress the evidence. Cassie Ventura according to the article, she never pressed charges and feared that, he would retaliate some type of way against her for going to the law enforcement. And also, it was like something off a movie, the way, this whole thing was explained, this whole incident, like on What's Love Got to Do with It with Ike and Tina Turner, with that one movie scene where Ike, puts hands on Tina, right? And then he goes to sleep. And while Ike is sleeping in that movie, Tina's getting her things gathered up and she leaves, right? And but in the movie, Ike doesn't wake up. He stays asleep because he's obviously intoxicated. As the article said, Puffy had put hands on her earlier that day and he was intoxicated or whatnot, and he fell asleep, right? So in the movie, when Tina, gathers up her stuff, Ike is asleep and she runs across the street to go to the hotel. She runs for dear life, right? And this is kind of lining up with what Cassie did. She runs for dear life while Sean Diddy Combs is sleeping, but he awakes and see that she has escaped, right? Like some type of, fugitive or something like that. Now that's crazy. And upon her leaving the hotel and trying to get away from him, he chases her down. He has a towel wrapped around himself, right? So obviously, he heard her leave out the room. He gets up, chases behind her, catches her at the elevator banks, trying to get in the elevator and leave the hotel. Then he snatches her up and yanks her and throws her down and, puts feet and hands on Cassie. Now, this is just like a scene out that movie from What's Love Got to Do with It with Ike and Tina Turner. And the hotel staff across the street where Tina ran to, obviously, they looked out for her and gave her a room and made sure she was safe from Ike, right? But in this version, in real life, P. Diddy, right, and Cassie, when they got into their altercation and we seen Puff drag her and try to, take her back into the room, we see Puff Daddy throwing vases and things like that at her in the video, right? And he takes the bag from her. Who knows what was in that bag? Obviously, he didn't want her to take that bag because he chased her down and got the bag from her after he assaulted her, right? And the hotel staff there told Cassie that it's best for her to return to the hotel room. Now, ain't that something? Why wouldn't they be concerned about this young lady's well-being? That was kind of messed up for the hotel staff. According to the article, they told Cassie to return to her apartment there, the room that she had with Puff Daddy. Now, why would they tell her that and advise her to return when she just had this incident, happen with her and Puff Daddy at this hotel? That was kind of crazy to me, you guys. But it's in the article and they say this is what happened. Wow. Now, the hotel staff there that day would seem to be a part of the problem also, because why wouldn't they help out this young lady when they seen that she was obviously physically abused, right? And that's kind of crazy that they allowed Puff Daddy to pay them $50,000 to keep this video from being surfaced to the public, right? Or as used as evidence against him in some type of way for criminal charges to be brought. But the article said that, due to the statute of limitations, right, that it happened so long ago that no charges will be brought. And, that's by California law and all that, because that's where this incident took place. So like I said earlier, why would they release this 8 years later? Well, I came across an article where the news network CNN, who obtained the video, they wouldn't say how they obtained it. So how did CNN News Network get a copy of this video surveillance tape from 8 years ago? Obviously, they keep a backup copy for themselves, evidently, because if they sold a copy to Puff Daddy for $50,000 8 years ago, he probably thought he had the only evidence of this in his own possession, which obviously he didn't. Or either the feds, the Homeland Security, when they did that raid on his mansions there in California, or the one in Miami, in New York also, because they didn't mention the raid in New York, they obviously found this video in his possession at one of his homes, right? So that could be a possibility on how they got their hands on the video footage as well. But, I'm banking on the fact that, the hotel probably kept a video copy for theirself, a backup copy, of this whole incident, right? To hold over Puff Daddy's head like they're doing now. And no criminal charges were brought. And that shows you that how they protect their own. Puffy was making a lot of money for the industry at the time, right? The clothing sales, the liquor sales, and the music, right? And now, at that point, he is on video surveillance beating up this then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. They couldn't allow that to get out because that was going to damage the business practices that they had going on then with the revenue that was coming in. And obviously that wouldn't look good for Puff Daddy to have this type of scandal going on, and that would have affected everybody's business who was invested with him at that time, right? And for CNN to drop this video now, I found an article that was saying that CNN News and the whole network is not doing too good in advertising, and their stocks dropped in the market, right? At least 4%. I think that CNN released this video now because the stocks is dropping. Advertising is pulling away from the station. They're not doing too good in the streaming industry right now because streaming has taken over normal television, right? People aren't watching normal television. People are streaming online. And CNN is making a lot of money off the advertising on this video of Sean Combs assaulting Miss Ventura. And that's crazy, you guys. As we see, it's obviously all about the Benjamins because CNN is now collecting a lot of ad revenue, right, off this surveillance video footage that they have released of Puff Daddy assaulting Miss Ventura. Now, if you can piece two and two together, I think that's what's really going on here. And at the same time, they get a chance to destroy his image, right? His character, and hurt his business, right? With his liquor sales, his music, and his clothing sales, and any other business endeavors he has going on. That's just my theory of the whole thing. Why 8 years later, right? And being that Puff Daddy can't be charged, Diddy cannot go to jail behind this whole ordeal. A lot of people are saying he's going to jail and this and that. Diddy ain't going to jail, man. Just read the article. They cannot charge him for something that happened this long ago, right? That's why it was a civil suit, and he paid it off the very next day because he knew that these type of things will eventually come out, right? This video surveillance footage of him doing these acts to Miss Ventura, right? They couldn't be suppressed. And how many other videos is out there that Puff Daddy paid off, where he assaulted different women in his life? Wow. We may never know. Maybe 8 more years from now, more videos will come out. Wow. And in the article, they didn't say that Miss Ventura returned back to the suite, the apartment with Puffy, even though the hotel staff there, tried to encourage her to for some sick reason, right? Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they show any concern for this young lady who just got beat like that? That's crazy. Now, with the ex-trafficking allegations that Puffy has against him and 5 more lawsuits pending against him also for similar allegations, right? No charges have been brought yet. And is this all that the feds, Homeland Security, or the powers that be, or whoever, have on Puffy? Is this all they could release so far? I mean, what happened to all the alleged minors and drugs and guns and things of that nature that they said Puff Daddy and his crew were allegedly involved in? The freak-offs and all this type of thing with minors. What happened to all that type of evidence? Where's that at? Obviously, they don't have none because they released this video. You know what I mean? So that leads me to think maybe they don't have anything on Puffy as far as this type of footage right now that they have out on him. Now, a couple of celebrities, or a lot of celebrities that I've seen so far, 50 Cent, he said something about the whole ordeal. He's basically being sarcastic about it. And, this is the post that 50 Cent made on Instagram. Now, Sean Diddy Combs posted 2 days ago on his Instagram in a post that didn't obviously age too well that says time tells truth, right? And obviously, this is the truth. And time is definitely a factor, being it's been 8 years now since this incident took place in Cali and at this Intercontinental hotel where Puffy and Cassie were staying and this whole incident took place. So time is definitely telling, truth, Puff Daddy. And it's not looking too good for you, bucko. Wow. And at the end of the day, a man putting his hands on a woman is never acceptable. And a woman putting her hands on a man is never acceptable. It's like when you were kids. Everybody keep their hands to themselves. Nobody should be physically abusing or assaulting nobody in no type of relationship, right? So let's check out a quick clip of what happened that day at the Intercontinental Hotel out in Cali with Diddy and Cassie. Run it.
Mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which according to the lawsuit prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her.
Now, Wack100 spoke his piece on the whole ordeal with this surveillance video surfacing of Diddy doing the unthinkable to Cassie. Well, now we see it, so it's no longer unthinkable. He done it, right? Diddy did it. And at the end of the day, let's check out what Wack had to say.
Hey, listen, yesterday I told all the homies I was gonna stay out of everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? I lied. Diddy, I just seen that video. You was a and I hope, I hope, if whatever happens to you, happens to you, I hope Big Freddie and Debo Eddie strap your down in they penitentiary Betty. And I hope don't nobody come help your mom.
You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. And you already know what it is, man. It's deeper than booty hell. And guess what? I'm gone.